Caitlin Clark being frustrated. Caitlin Clark wanted to come back. Word on the street, front office, even Stephanie White said it down in Phoenix. She stated, we are worried about the long-term health of Caitlin Clark. That has been the topic. That has been all.
Caitlin Clark, the player who turned the Indiana Fever from a struggling team into a real playoff threat, has suddenly been benched. Not because of injury, not because of poor performance, but by her own team's management. The very people who owe her for reviving the franchise are now trying to push her aside. But Clark isn't having it. She's standing her ground, speaking up, making one thing crystal clear. No one puts Caitlin Clark on the bench without a fight.
Is Caitlin Clark not playing because she's hurt? She can't come back? Or is she not playing because the organization chose to bench her for the rest of the year? Because Stephanie White has come out and made some comments, and I don't like what I'm...
The Indiana Fever are back in the playoffs for the second year in a row. The franchise record 23 wins in their first winning season since 2015. But here's the shocker. The star who made it all happen won't even be on the court. Caitlin Clark is a player who turned half-empty arenas into packed houses and brought national attention to the team. It's been ruled out for the rest of the season, playoffs included. And she's not just upset, she's angry. And honestly, who can blame her?
The Indiana Fever are having a tough time covering the tracks to the dirty, dirty games they played and screwing over the fans and sabotaging Caitlin Clark. Everybody is on to the dirty games that the WNBA and the Indiana Fever have played this season, manipulating the people and using Caitlin Clark for money and using her fans. Stephanie White has been exposed. Lexi Hall confirms that Caitlin Clark was ready to play and that the team made the decision to keep her out while she was...
The team's official explanation? Long-term health. The front office claims they're protecting Caitlin Clark's future, treating her like some priceless treasure that needs to be kept in bubble wrap. They're congratulating themselves for being cautious, expecting fans to applaud the decision. But the truth is, they've just sidelined the player who made the Fever worth watching again. Caitlin Clark brought life back to this team, and now she's being treated like a risk instead of a reason to win. Fans aren't falling for it.
What stood out to you about Caitlin and kind of the ray of emotion she probably felt as you came to this decision?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, number one, just all the injuries that she's had. Obviously, I wouldn't speak for her, but and the amount of work that she's put in to position herself to be able to play and then to have to ultimately make this decision. There's disappointment. There's the obvious frustration that's come with not being healthy really for an entire season. But ultimately, I think the big picture is the most important thing, and those are conversations that we've continued to have. And the message has continued to be that it's not her long-term health and wellness, and her being 100% when she's ready to go is the most important thing.
Caitlin Clark isn't just another player on the roster. She's the reason anyone even talks about the Indiana Fever. For 7 long years, this team was forgotten, nowhere close to the playoffs. Then Clark showed up and everything changed. Suddenly, they're competing, selling out arenas, and making headlines every night. She didn't just play the game, she completely turned the franchise around. From bottom of the league to center stage, all thanks to Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark strapped on her hard hat and steel-toed boots and revolutionized the game of pretend basketball. She turned this previously unmonetizable turd into a league that's getting dangerously close to losing their charity status. Because of Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is on the verge of generating pesos and profit for the first time ever. She brought mainstream attention to a league that never had a chance of breaking into the mainstream. She brought a new fan base. For the first time, people were actually willing to spend money to watch the WNBA.
And how does the front office thank her? By telling her to sit out? It's not just a bad move. It's downright disrespectful. You don't bench your biggest star right when the season reaches its peak. Fans came to see Caitlin Clark lead the charge, not watch from the sidelines. Now, just as the story gets good, she's being pulled from the spotlight, and people aren't happy about it.
Which I'm all for the long-term health, but you got to be a player-first organization. And if that set player is ready to return, she's cleared by the doctors. She's cleared by the damn doctors to play. Been cleared by the doctors to play. Let her fucking play. I am sorry. Y'all sitting up here, donkey and a damn carried everybody, wanting to get all the money you can off. One day, it's one day at a time, one day at a time. All this BS y'all doing is ridiculous. And Indiana, you're looking spooky. You're looking spooky. I am sorry.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe. July 15th, 2025, Connecticut, final minute of the game. Caitlin Clark makes a simple pass, then suddenly grabs her right groin. The cameras catch everything, her face buried in her hands, towel over her shoulders, frustration and heartbreak written all over her. That moment changed everything. Not because doctors told her to stop, they actually cleared her for light non-contact practice. And not because Clark wanted to sit out, she didn't. The decision came from the Fever, front office, and the impact was immediate. The moment Clark left the court, WNBA TV ratings dropped by more than 50%. Yes, over half the audience disappeared. Why? Because Caitlin wasn't playing. That's how powerful her presence is. When Clark's on the court, it's must-see TV. When she's not, it's just another game. Just look at her first matchup against Angel Reese's team, 2.7 million viewers on ESPN, the most-watched game of the year. Clark dropped a triple-double and broke the internet, Reese. Just 12 points and a few side-eyes. Caitlin Clark is the show, the entire show. And without her, the lights just don't shine the same.
Instead of allowing Caitlin Clark to elevate the league, WNBA players were overtaken with powerful feelings of jealousy. They resented her. They wanted her to go away. And this season, and especially over the last couple of months, WNBA players have gotten exactly what they wanted. After 2 years of claiming that the WNBA is about more than one player, unknown dump divers were finally given the opportunity to prove it. As expected, the end result has been huge embarrassing.
For almost 2 months, the Indiana Fever kept fans hanging on. It's promising that Caitlin Clark's return was just around the corner. Day to day, they said. We're just being cautious. Meanwhile, Clark was in the gym every single day, working hard to get back. She was running drills, taking part in shoot-arounds, clearly close to game ready. She wanted to lead her team into the playoffs. Then came the twist. The same front office that's profited off her success from the start decided to shut her down. Not because she wasn't fit to play, and not because doctors said no, but because they claimed they were protecting her long-term health. Let's be honest, they're protecting their investment, even if it means benching the one player who gave them their best shot at a championship in years.
The Fever fan base has lost so much trust in the Fever organization this year, and not only from the injury reporting, but it stems from the injury reporting. There's been some very, very weird injury reports this season, and the math isn't mathing. And I've also been one to defend the organization to a certain extent because you don't always want to give away too much information. And I've placed a lot of the blame on the reporters. I'm like, how are the reporters not able to get to the bottom of this and at least give us some?
Caitlin Clark released a statement that sent shockwaves through the basketball world. I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. I spent hours in the gym every day with the singular goal of getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I'm feeling. Let that sink in. Disappointed isn't a big enough word. This is Caitlin Clark we're talking about, the woman who's handled pressure that would break most people. She carried an entire league on her shoulders, turned the Indiana Fever from forgotten to feared, shattered attendance records, and put women's basketball front and center in the national spotlight. She didn't just lead a team. She reignited a sport, and now, after everything she's done, boosting the brand, driving revenue, putting the Fever back on the map, her own organization has left her feeling beyond disappointed. That's not frustration. That's betrayal. They benched the player who saved them. Not because she couldn't play or wasn't cleared, but because the front office decided they knew better. This isn't just a bad decision, it's a slap in the face to the very person who made them relevant again.